And welcome back to Hannity. Yesterday's bombshell testimony by the 3 State Department whistleblowers confirmed what we have been saying for months, that the Obama White House orchestrated a widespread cover-up about the terrorist attack in Benghazi that killed 4 Americans. And now with this new information, our question is simple, and it's this. Is the Obama administration's cover-up worse than Watergate? After all, keep in mind, with Watergate, nobody died. Joining me now with reaction, our syndicated columnist Patrick J. Buchanan and Fox News contributor LesLIE Marshall. Patrick J. Buchanan, I see a lot of similarities here. The big question to me is, yes, Hillary, they denied the requested security early. They told these guys to stand down. We have to find out who made these decisions. Biggest issue is the lie and the cover-up afterwards, Pat, which is pretty clear. They knew the truth, and they told the American people, everybody out there, something that they knew was false.
I think that's exactly right, Sean. First, let's take a look at the offense itself. The break-in at Watergate was a stupid burglary, political burglary. Nobody got killed. This is a horrible atrocity, killing an American ambassador, killing another diplomat, 2 Navy SEALs, destroying and burning that compound, driving us out of a part of a country we had liberated. But you're right. The real thing here is the cover-up. And the reason I think is similar to the cover-up in Watergate, which was Barack Obama said, what was his storyline? We got bin Laden and Al-Qaeda's on the run. This whole horrible story disproved that. Al-Qaeda was active. It had killed these guys. It had wounded us badly as any incident since 9/11. And I think the White House and the administration said, okay, we're going to say it was this video happened. There was no way we could have predicted it or prepared for it. No way we could have handled that. So it was just an incident. Let's move on.
All right, before I go to you, LesLIE, let me play. This is America Rising PAC showing Hillary denying responsibility for these talking points, which we learned yesterday were right first, but then they altered them to be false. Watch this.
I certainly did not know of any reports that contradicted the IC talking points at the time that Ambassador Rice went on the TV shows.
It began spontaneously in Benghazi. And initially, it was a spontaneous reaction.
So fast forward, Mr. Hicks, to the Sunday talk shows and Ambassador Susan Rice. She blamed this attack on the video. In fact, she did it 5 different times. What was your reaction to that?
I was stunned. My jaw dropped, and I was embarrassed.
They never talked to the #1 guy on the ground before they went on those shows?
Sean, the guys on the ground, nobody mentioned a video. Where did the video come from? The video was drawn up and dug up and fabricated and put forward as the excuse why the administration was unprepared, why it didn't know have things in advance to handle this situation. This is a complete cover-up. I mean, where did the story of the video come from?
Gentlemen, Sean, you know, they say apples and oranges. This is like apples and zucchini. If you wanted to ask me which was worse, lying about weapons of mass destruction and invading the sovereign nation of Iraq or Benghazi, I would say let's have that conversation.
Ted Kennedy said it's
we have a president that was impeached, that was a criminal, and that asked other individuals under him when he was commander-in-chief to commit crimes.
LesLIE, let me slow you down. They denied requests for security before. They were told, we learned yesterday, on 2 occasions to stand down and help those Americans that we knew were under attack. We know that they had the original talking points right, and they altered it. All has to be seen through the prism of an election, LesLIE, all of which we deserve answers to. Yes, LesLIE, we do. We deserve answers.
You're reaching.
The families of 4 dead Americans. Pat, go ahead.
Look, LesLIE, no, you're not reaching. Look, they altered the talking points to put forward a story that was a total and complete fabrication, but which helped them on the road to the election. And they would not have been helped if people found out and discovered right then, look, friends, this was Al-Qaeda. And the storyline that Al-Qaeda's on the run is untrue. Al-Qaeda's active right in the country we're supposed to have liberated.
Pat, You know as well as I do that the president did eventually, and I would agree with you guys, why that video is mentioned, it shouldn't be, and I think that's a lie left to right, and I'm a Democrat.
Why was the president saying it 2 weeks later?
This is a terrorist attack, and Mitt Romney still wasn't elected. This was a terrorist attack, and Mitt Romney still wasn't elected. The American people knew that the White House and our Secretary of State changed their story, as did Ambassador Rice.
Leslie, let me ask you a simple question. 2 weeks after this horrible atrocity, the President of the United States went up and in the United Nations 6 times mentioned this vile video that had nothing whatsoever to do with the atrocity. Why did he do that? Who put that together? Who put that speech together? There was no video.
Well, Pat, if I could answer that, I would probably be president and not sitting here debating you tonight. But that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about Watergate, which to me is more like a white Watergate in this instance.
People
we're not
died?
talking. It's apples and oranges,
No,
Sean. That's
no,
why
no
people
apples,
died.
no
This is not white water.
Leslie,
this is not Watergate.
The similarity with Watergate is not the offense.
Where is the crime and where is the obstruction of justice?
But look,
where is the crime and where is the obstruction of justice?
There's a break-in, no doubt, at Watergate. But do you think that's as serious as a massacre of an American ambassador and another diplomat and 2 SEALs and the destruction of our operation in Benghazi? 1 guy breaking, or 5 guys breaking into Larry O'Brien's office to put a bug on the telephone?
All right, we got to go. Thank you both.
Do you think
Pat,
an intern in a blue dress are
and
more important than Watergate?
Leslie, it
No,
sounds
I
like you
think his
defend.
lies under oath.
No.
The problem
I would
with Bill
think,
Clinton.
And both of those
Leslie,
presidents
it
were
doesn't
impeached.
last question. It doesn't bother you, Leslie, the president and his team and everybody involved in this lied to you?
Absolutely, as it did when George Bush lied to me about weapons of mass destruction and we invaded the sovereign nation of Iraq.
You know what?
Absolutely.
George Bush has been out of office 5 years, and Hillary Clinton said there were weapons of mass destruction, and so did Ted Kennedy. Now I'll ask you again. This president lied so that he could get reelected, and this campaign lied, and this White House lied, and top officials. Don't you think we have a right to know the truth? That who lied to us?
We have a right to know the truth, but comparing it to Richard Nixon, I don't think the way it is the way we're going to get it.
Leslie, would you like to see a select committee investigate it the way they investigated Richard Nixon? Would you like to see the press as active going after this president as they went after Richard Nixon? This political press in Washington, D.C. is the committee to re-elect the president.
That there was a criminal
We're way
act.
behind. We got to take a break.
Denying security is not a criminal act.
Thank you both. When we